Okay, so we'll be looking at another part of the Mabinogi Eternity post on the Korean site. So, Art Technician, Character Creation. As with most game development projects, the Mabinogi Eternity project was especially in dire need of professional technicians in each field. How are existing art resources rendered within the engine? What should I do to bring this to the new engine? There are always many different types of costumes and hair in Mabinogi. What should I do to make this movement more natural? I really wanted to do it when I went to the new engine, but is it possible to express all the things that could not be expressed due to the wall of an old engine? Because we needed people to give us answers to all of this, generally the problem is solved through collaboration between artists and programmers. In order to develop more quickly and reliably, we had to reduce the depth of communication. So we quickly began recruiting experts, art technicians with technical knowledge and experience, and artists in various fields such as character and background models, animation effects, and UI. We hired a technical artist to handle graphics within the new engine, such as shader development and optimization. When it comes to shader porting, shouldn't we just look at the code and import it? It is certainly true that you can look at the code, understand its structure, and import it in a form suitable for Unreal Engine, but the problem was that the code was very fragmented. Of course, just looking at the resource structure and final rendering result, I could see how the shader was built. But what was important to us was not analogy, but accurate calculation. Even if the calculation is slightly wrong, a completely different result will be output. I recreated the art resource production process and began to analyze the database and rendering related codes one by one. I was able to piece together all the meaningful information one by one. As a result, and we have this video here, so this is the result. Neo uploaded to Unreal Engine to commemorate the success of Pleon shader porting. But it doesn't end here. As I was enjoying the joy of completing a successful shader port, I heard countless voices. So, when we get the light, it starts to sparkle, right? We can just set up the light when we take a screenshot, right? Right now, some outlines come out and some don't. Is everything coming out now? The color of the outline is also just showing off the dye color. My hair is sticking out through my clothes. Are you going to fix this too? Is my hair blowing in the wind now? Of course, it was just the beginning. What was fortunate, though, was that we had invited experts in each field. Please allow character shaders to respond to various light sources. You may be wondering how obvious this is. When using Unreal Engine, it is natural for 3D models to react to various light sources. The Eternity project inherits the flat yet unique colors of the current Mabinogi, while at the same time, the goal is to be able to interact with the variety of light sources. However, it is difficult to achieve both purposes simultaneously with the basic shading model provided by Unreal Engine. We created a custom shading model by modifying the engine code. By removing the fine surface bidirectional distribution function and modifying it to adjust the amount and color of light hitting the surface, a cartoon-like expression is possible. It was tuned to be affected by various fixed and dynamic light sources and provided to character shader creators. Simply put, if you only use the basic shading model provided by Unreal, you can lose Mabinogi's unique style with truly realistic light expressions. Unable to react to different light sources or only see the results of one or the other. There are many different solutions to this, but we chose to create a shading model unique to Mabinogi. And here you can see the default lit and the unlit. Good, now draw the outline too. Because the outline can give a completely different impression depending on its presence or absence, it is an element that can visually separate the background and the character. This is an element that would be disappointing if it were left out in a cartoon-style shader. As such, research is being conducted in a variety of ways. In the case of Mabinogi, a very thin outline is used. Due to engine limitations, it may be missing in areas where application is difficult due to translucent objects or some compatibility issues. There are many side effects, so all of these had to be resolved in the new engine. There are several ways to handle outlines. We tried many different things to find a method that suited Mabinogi's needs. In order to create a sensuous outline in a Mabinogi style while reducing man-hours costs, we chose the scene depth processing method, rather than simply transplanting the existing feeling, so that the color of the clothes shines through, so that the lines remain constant even when the distance increases, so that the lines disappear as the distance increases. To draw or not draw certain parts, to draw lines in translucent materials, etc., we encountered and dealt with a variety of issues. I was proud of the process of mixing and applying non-open technologies and working with character artists. As an 8-year Militian who is still working hard at Mabinogi, I was really happy to hear the news about the engine replacement. So what about the dislocated shoulder? Are all the clothes and hair moving now? In fact, after the decision to replace Unreal Engine, shoulder dislocation was one of the most heard stories. I too was eagerly hoping for this as a Militian before becoming a developer. The programmers and animation technicians put a lot of effort into this part. In the existing Mabinogi, there were insufficient examples such as shoulder dislocation. There were many shortcomings such as polygons breaking when the character moved. At Eternity, we aimed to look as natural as possible in shoulders, hips, etc. And unlike the existing Mabinogi, many bones were added to express the detailed parts of fingers. Additionally, additional bones have been set to make customization more natural. With so many bones added, it is difficult to simply port existing Mabinogi animation files. Based on the existing Mabinogi animation, additional parts such as the fingers are being worked on step by step, and the costumes are also very diverse. In a typical MMORPG projector, the bones are often set and the costume design is designed to match the position of the bones. Since Mabinogi's costumes were already available in various designs, it was necessary to match the costume to patterns. It is not possible to infinite bones, and it is difficult to animate or control a large number of bones one by one. Many experts are working hard to successfully replace the Mabinogi engine. Of course, there is still much left to do. A core part of the technical art issue has been dealt with, but in addition, there are countless elements that enrich Mabinogi, such as expressions of materials. We will do our best until the Mabinogi engine replacement is successful, and of course, we will continue to do so thereafter. Alright, so the Eternity page on the Mabinogi Korea website has been updated. So there's a lot of new posts, and we're going to look at this one first. So, Aaron long-term repair plan. So today I would like to explain the various processes for importing Mabinogi's 3D resources into Unreal Engine. In general, commercial engines, resources created with 3D tools are imported through a format called FBX. The Pleon engine uses its own extension called PMG. Therefore, in order to import already created 3D resources into Unreal Engine, a tool to convert the extension was needed. Thanks to quick development of the tools, porting each region went very smoothly. So it looks like they've already ported like all these regions into the game, but they still have to go over them, edit them, and make them look good. Like add all the movement permissions and stuff. So we were able to quickly port all areas in Erin to Unreal Engine. Of course, it would be nice if it ended here, but it would be difficult to say that the porting was complete simply by importing it. So yeah, they have to like add all the movement permissions and stuff. And here you can see them importing like resources from the logging camp in this picture. This is like the Gold Isle. Since detailed materials were not expressed in Pleon, it was also necessary to set each material anew to suit the Unreal environment. So like this is the road in Dumbarton. I think this is what it looks like with the Unreal thing. That looks really good if that's in Unreal Engine. Things that were made so long ago that their form itself needs to be renewed may need to be replaced by making something completely new. I imagine they'll have to do a lot of that for like the insides of buildings and stuff, especially since like the insides of a lot of buildings are like 2D and look really crappy when you actually move the camera angle around in there. But here we can actually finally get like a good view of Dumbarton. So you can see how they changed like the entrance to Dumbarton here, and this looks really good. And also you can see like this board here, but it doesn't have like, it doesn't have anything on it where there'd usually be images. So it mostly looks like they're done with Dumbarton, but only after going through this process can you complete the background resources that fit the engine environment. Fortunately, all regions were quickly imported using the porting tool. It was pointless to transplant the costumes and hair in their basic form. The framework and wires themselves are lacking to provide natural movement. This is because the skin of the hands and feet also had to be replaced. Because there were many parts that were difficult to meet Eternity's standards, it was in a state where it could only be brought in after some processing had been completed from the beginning. First, rather than taking the basic form as is, we proceed with modeling work to process it to meet Eternity's standards. In particular, we add more wires so that not only the hands and skin, but also the clothes and hair can move naturally. Once the modeling is completed, a framework for natural movement is planted. If you make various settings so that the skeleton can move well... Okay, here's a video. Let's see that. Yeah, that looks really good. Of course, things with simple porting processes can be ported efficiently using automation tools. So here's like some weapons. As the final resource production is completed after going through such a variety of processes, the efficiency of the overall process is very important, as there is a lot of work to be done. We are building a solid foundation so that we can build on it without collapsing. So we saw this in the Korean fantasy party. They're like changing outfits and showing how like the hair and the outfits move. So this looks really good. I like the way this turned out, and it kind of shows us that... It kind of shows us that, like, Dumbarton is in progress right now, and it's getting a lot better. You can kind of see, like, here, how the shingles don't look very good right here. But they look really good, like, in this image on the right. Like, look how much more detail they have now. So today we'll be looking at a part that was shown in the Korean fantasy party for Mabinogi. We'll be looking at character creation in Unreal Engine 5. And we have English closed captioning. There's the login. So they played this live on stream. Here's the new character select screen. This looks pretty cool.
안녕하세요, 밀레시안 여러분. 마비노기 총괄 디렉터 민경훈입니다. 이번 이터니티의 소식의 시작을 제가 직접 보여드리고 싶었습니다. 그래서 캐릭터 생성 과정을 제가 직접 좀
So the director is going to show us the character creation process for Unreal.
업데이트 후에 실제로 만나보실 모습은 지금과는 조금 다를 수 있는데 지금 현재 저희가 구현해 놓은 모습을 천천히 보여드리도록 하겠습니다. 이렇게 하나씩 선택할 수 있고요. 새 캐릭터를 선택해 보겠습니다. 이 의상은 처음 보시는 의상이죠. 이터니티 버전으로.
This is the first time you've seen this costume, newly created in Eternity version. This is the newbie wear, okay.
이전에 네, 잠깐 소개해드린 것처럼 이런 형태의
A while ago, yes, as I briefly introduced, this is
예쁜
now
신발도 이제 구현해 볼 수 있고요.
now let's implement pretty shoes in the shape of
일단은 남캐를 한번 잠깐 보여드릴게요.
okay, first the male character. So yeah, you can pick the male character's age, and this shows you like the stats, because the stats are like slightly different.
이렇게 당연히 나이도 이렇게 고를 수 있고요. 네, 능력치는 신경 쓰지 않으셔도 됩니다. 임시 수치로 넣어둔 거예요. 네.
So it looks like over here we have like a couple of different like starting outfit options. So like this is the newbie wear over here, and it looks like you can pick like one of these other 3 outfits to start with. So far this looks really good.
네, 얼굴도 이렇게 이거 이따가 조금 이따가 자세히 보여드릴 텐데 이제 남캐 헤어들은 지금 일단 반영해 놓은 건 이 정도고요. 여러 가지 익숙하신 헤어들이
Couple of
있죠.
the different male hairstyles.
네, 이런 헤어도 있고, 네, 그리고 당연히 이렇게 네, 색상도 선택할 수 있습니다.
And the different colors.
네, 일단 다시 돌아가서 네, 여성캐로 선택을 해보겠습니다.
And you can notice, like here, you can see some of the hair clipping through her outfit. So it's a lot easier to notice, like, the hair clipping through the outfits on the female character, because she has, like, longer hair. And the longer hair options typically, like, clip through the outfits more.
네, 예쁘죠? 예쁜 건
Yeah, you can see it, like, better up close. You can see how it's, like, cutting into the shirt and stuff. But it looked a lot better in game. That might just be, like, a character creation thing. Like, when I saw, like, the in-game footage that's later, it looked a lot better and a lot less noticeable.
가까이서 봐야 됩니다. 이렇게 가까이서 보시면 이 디테일이 좀 보이실 것 같아요. 이렇게 의상도 이런 식으로 디테일하게 표현해서 네, 구현을 해볼 수가 있고요. 피부 색상도 이렇게 선택한 대로 바로 잘
And different skin
반영이 됩니다.
tones. That's cool.
네.
That one's cool too.
이런 모습도 그렇고 다양한 모습을 볼 수 있고, 네, 저는 개인적으로 좋아하는 연한 복숭아 빛을 선택하겠습니다. 이 헤어도 이렇게 반영이 되는데 아마 지금 잘 아시는 헤어들이 있을 거예요. 네, 아시는 헤어들이 있고, 그렇죠. 이 헤어는 좀 이따가 다시 보실 수 있을 것 같은데 저는
Okay, this hairstyle doesn't clip through the outfit at all. So that's good. Because, like, the hair that hangs off to the sides here in the front, like, that's far enough away from the outfit that doesn't clip into it. And, like, the ponytail in the back goes out far enough to the point where it doesn't, like, clip into the back of the character at all.
죄송합니다. 제 취향대로 일단 선택을 해보겠습니다. 그리고 눈도 지금은 이 정도로 반영이 돼 있고요. 눈도 아마
Couple of different
잘 아시는
options for
부분일 거예요.
eyes.
네, 이 눈으로 선택을 하겠습니다. 아, 제가 헤어 색상을 안 정했네요. 제가 그 블루 계열을 좋아해서 여기 제
Changing the hair
지향색이
color?
명확하게 있지는 않은데 네, 다른 의도는 없습니다. 블루를 선택을 하겠습니다. 그리고 눈도 맞춰야죠. 네, 이렇게 맞추겠습니다. 그리고 입은
Yeah,
지금은
changing the hair and eye
하나만
color.
있고요. 그리고 장식이랑 화장도 있는데 네, 이 부분은 네, 나중에 또 보여드릴 기회가 있을 것
There are
같습니다.
decorations and makeup
아래
too.
보시면 이상
So you can use
입어보기라고
that.
있죠? 네, 이런 프리셋들을 확인하면
Yeah, and here's some of the different like starting outfits. Now he's going through like those options. This one goes really well with the blue hair.
하실 수가 있습니다. 네, 이렇게 있고요. 그리고 이렇게 가까이서 보시면 좀 재질감이 좀 다르죠? 네, 이런 의상도 있고, 그리고 왠지 궁수한테 어울릴 것 같은 네, 이런 의상도 있고요. 네, 이런 의상도 있습니다. 네,
Yeah, this one looks pretty cool. Looks like an outfit that maybe like a priest or a healer would wear, like a priestess or a healer. Or a mage.
이제 본격적으로 한번 떠나보겠습니다.
They're laughing because the name was taken when he tried to name the character.
네. 서버는 지금 유튜브 하나만 반영을 해둔 거니까 혹시나
The server currently only reflects one loot. They might be talking about like loot server. Since I've already done it, maybe other than loot, I hope the servers aren't upset. Okay, so he's gonna create the character. The owl looks pretty cool too.
어떠세요? 밀레시안과 에린을 연결해줄 조금 새로운 모습의 소울 스트림입니다.
The soul stream looks pretty good. I like how they added some color to like this part where you walk around. Like there's some blue, some gold, and maybe some like blue and purple more in the center where now is.
네, 여기 계신 분들은 너무 잘 아시다시피 마비노기에서 의미 깊은 장소잖아요. 네, 그래서 좀 더 가슴에 남을 만한 모습으로 변화를 시도해보고 있습니다. 우리 나우가 쳐다보네요. 네, 아이고 죄송합니다. 제가 지금 손이 떨리고 있어요.
These dialogue options on the side are pretty cool. Like I like the way the boxes look for text and everything. So far this looks pretty good as far as the interface goes for like chatting with an NPC.
네, 뭐 하나하나 말을 걸어보고 싶지만 지금 이제 보여드릴 게 좀 더 있기 때문에 에린으로 바로 가겠습니다. 네. 다음에 또 만나요.
And now she's gonna send us to Aaron. Wait, let's go back just a little bit. This was just a brief moment, but it looks like this would be like the loading screen. That might change like before it comes out. This is just a test play that they're going through. But this is simple. It looks nice. Wouldn't mind if that was the main like loading screen. And then they finally get into game. And you can see that there are like a couple other characters out here. These might be members of the development team that are like working on it. or it could be some sort of closed beta in Korea. Either way, I think it's a good thing that they're like stress testing it. But yeah, we'll look at the gameplay and cover that in another video. But that's the character creation. And so far, I think it's pretty good. The flow of time. So this is going to explain how time is going to flow in the Unreal Engine update. And this is a very long post, so I'm not going to read all of this information. I'm just going to read like some of the important parts, and we'll look at the pictures in the videos. If you think about the flow of time changes during the day, morning sunlight, noon, sunset, and moonlight in the night sky. The movement of light and the changing shadows are probably the first things that come to mind. As time passes, the position of light moves and the shape of shadows changes. So you can see that in this moving picture here, but for some reason the page is kind of loading this image slow. So I just opened it in a new tab, and you can see it right here. So like as time passes, the shadows are like moving and changing. So light movement and shadow movement changes. And here on the left we have the Turconale Bank in Pleon Engine, and on the right we have it in Unreal. So you can see how like the shadows are moving and changing shape, and how like the lighting is changing, and you can see like the clouds moving in the sky there. Yeah, these videos don't want to load on this page for some reason. Hopefully anyone else that looks at this will have better luck than I'm having. but it seems to be working better if I just open these videos in a new tab. And here we can see like the shadows of like the lights and the windmill and the building like moving as time passes. And here you can see how like the sky is changing over the windmill. So this is like the day going by. And this art looks really good. And again, this isn't final. It says not final right here and right here. So this is really cool. You can see like time passing in the game. You can see the clouds moving. So this is what it's gonna look like in Turco now when the Unreal update comes out. And that looks really amazing. And here we can see like the shadows move, like the shadows of the fence here. So we can see that the shadows are starting to become more visible and show. And then they're slowly moving as time passes, like the sun is moving, the shadows are moving the opposite direction. And then this will show us rain. So they also showed this during the fantasy party in Korea. So you can see the rain, and you can see how the wood is darker because it's wet. And you can see the raindrops like soaking into the wood. That looks really good. And you can see like how the roof looks a little bit darker like here. Because it's like wet, and so is the stone to the building. So the rain effect looks really cool too. So yeah, this is gonna be how like time will pass differently. This is all about like how time will pass differently in Unreal 5, and how like weather effects like rain will look. So this is a pretty long post, and maybe that's why some of these things are having some trouble loading. But I would recommend taking a look at it. Alright, let's play Mabinogi. I am running a little late today. So I'm starting about 15-20 minutes later than usual. I had to do some cleaning in the room that my computer is in, where my streaming setup is in. Most of the cleaning was vacuuming up a lot of shavings and stuff, like bedding for like a gerbil that was under their enclosure. So that took a little while. Took more time than I thought to clean all that up. But let's get started on the Mabby stream. So it looks like the giant runaway gingerbread man is going to be here soon. So we're going to actually just go over here and get ready for him. Let's try using magic this time. I always use the dual guns against him, but I want to try using some magic. Oh wait, and I should also switch to Forbidden Alchemist so we can level that a little bit. Let's go ahead and switch to that Arcana for now. Oh, I still have some of those boxes. I could use one of those today still. Okay, we'll do that after the giant gingerbread man fight. There he is. It's more fun just spamming thunder against this guy. Oh, looks like his health is finally going down. And what do we have for the event quests? Make sparkling water, deliver sugarfish and sugar conch. Minty shooting star. Oh, this is the next story part. Okay. Got it. Yeah, I guess we could do that today too. Luckily, I still have a lot of those sugarfish and sugar conches, so that part's easy. It's a lot easier than making a snack basket. So let's talk to Key and do the next part of the story. And wait, what do we do with the waffle tower thing? Okay, we are supposed to use it. What's next? Take a look in the dessert tent. Okay. We're gonna go in here next. Wait, these things are moving. Look at that, those are actually moving. Are these snacks alive? Kind of reminds me of that creepy cake that was alive in Mario RPG and as that one boss. Okay, let's take out sweet ones next. I'm using lightning bolt because like thunder would just kill multiple of them, and it would be hard to kill an even number with like thunder. Lightning bolt is easier to control. Okay, we need buttery ones next. And now just the crispy ones. There we go. Go through here. I know who's in here, the Cookie Witch, or the Waffle Witch, or whoever she is. Oh, am I supposed to be picking up these, things? I'm not sure. What's the goal here? Rainbow Star Candy. Is there anything called Rainbow Star Candy on the floor here? Not that I can see. Okay, well, do I have any in my inventory or anything like that, or? Can't use that right now. No, I don't think I have anything in my inventory. What about my inventory? No? I'm not sure what the right approach for this is. It's not really keeping track of like how many I'm defeating or anything like that. Maybe I'm supposed to take them out in a certain order, because when I attack one of them, all of them vanish. So I try attacking like the red one first. So if I try orange first. Blue. Yellow. Green? No. Purple? Yeah, I have no idea what it wants me to do for this story mission. What does the quest say? Or for this one, rather. Take a look in the tent, okay. Well, that's what we're doing, but, what's the goal here? Because their numbers seem kind of infinite. Are they supposed to drop star candy or something? I'm not really sure. Okay, so this is getting me nowhere. I think the best option is to go check out the event page, and if that doesn't have the information I need on this specifically, I can check out the wiki for, like, for this event. One of the previous times this event came out. So let's go have a look at that. Okay, so the main website didn't really have anything on the posts that would help me out with the dungeon, so I'm gonna look here. Where's the deserted tent at? Let's take a look. Okay, here it is. So this one's the one from 2016, but this is the way to do it. Eight of each gingerbread man. It doesn't really. I guess 8 is the minimum of each one that you have to defeat, but like, if you accidentally defeat more than that, you just have to make sure that you kill like an even number of each one. So like 10 of each, 15 of each, something like that. Just make sure the numbers are all equal. Okay, so defeat the Koopas in order. So strawberry, orange, lemon, lime, soda, grape, and repeat once more. And then defeat the Super Koopa. Okay. I'm gonna write down that order on a sticky note just so I remember it. So hang on a second. Gotta get a pen here. Okay, I have the order written down now, and we'll see if that actually works. I wonder if we can still get the McWaffle's second title coupon. That second title actually reskins what Fireball looks like, if I recall right, which is pretty cool. I only have that on one character from the first time that I did this event. But yeah, the main event page doesn't really have a lot of info on the dungeon or the quest. So if you're confused on what to do in this Koopa room, check the wiki. And also, I didn't notice this, so Sweet Valentine's Day event. This is starting up on February 5th, so tomorrow. Looks like there's a chair item, both just a normal chair and a homestead one. Chocolate cookie hat. The chocolate cookie hat appearance scroll. I'll probably collect that. That's pretty cool. That's new, I guess, so all this stuff is new. That's cool. So this is a fun little event. Alright, we're gonna hop back into the game. Okay, so the order was strawberry, orange, lemon. I need to find the lemon one. That's the yellow one. Lime. Soda and grape. Okay, there's a soda one over there and a grape one there. And I need to do that one more time, I think. So strawberry, orange, lemon, lime. Oh yeah, they're not respawning anymore, so we're getting them in the right order. Soda and grape, and there's the super one. Oh, do I need that wand to defeat him? I might need that wand to defeat him. It said you get the wand, but I don't remember reading the part about needing it to defeat him, but maybe we do need it. What if I just attack with it? There we go. So I need... I don't think I can use Final Strike with... Ooh, I can! Nice! I wasn't expecting to be able to use Final Strike with this. So that's a nice surprise. Wait, where'd it go? Do I still have it? Okay. And there she is, the Cookie Witch. Oh, wait a minute. Can I use, Oh. Wait, so this is a wand. Do I need this to defeat her, or can I use... This isn't repairable. Can I use my normal staff? I don't know. Okay, where'd she go? There she is. Yeah, it looks like we're done here. Does that count for the normal daily of exploring the tent or not? No, because that one was just a story one. So that one does not count for that. We'll still have to go in there again. Oh, so we can keep going. Cool. Let's go back in there then. It's gonna expire soon, I better use that now. There, that pass is good for like a full day. Actually, I better get 2 no run passes because I also have like a... I'm gonna be able to get a forgetful potion. Perfect. Okay, 10 of those. Now let's get the sweet ones. And now the savory ones. Oh, and it even shows you the order during like a normal run. They all appear in the order that you're supposed to do it in for that story dungeon, so that's how you find out. Okay, that's cool. I'm just now noticing that. Okay, that's cleared for today. Wait, find Ku at the vacant desert tent. Does that mean he's like right outside it, or is he... I don't think his character is like outside the tent. Okay, so maybe we can't continue it until tomorrow. That's what I'm kind of guessing. And now we need sparkling water. I don't feel like cooking that up, so we're gonna just buy that, because other players will sell it. So that's all the event dailies we can do for today, it looks like. How many coins do I have? $33 coins. Take a look at the event shop. So the outfits are 20 coins each. I almost have enough to get both of them. What is that, a little waffle or a cookie? Looks kind of like a cookie on the shoes. Okay, that's interesting. So what are the shadow missions today? Foamer attack and defeat the shadow wizard. We'll do Foamer attack so I can level up my because I gotta level up my Forbidden Alchemist. Oh good, we have 20 minutes to use that up. I need to be level 60 in order to get into Nowhere to Run, so... Let's use this Shadow Crystal, delete anything that's expired or expiring or whatever. And let's get over to Tara. We're gonna do the Foamer attack mission. Elite, Foamer attack, accept, and we'll use one of those. Alright, let's clear this. So the way we're supposed to take down this boss is to get him with one of the rusted swords, to, like, infect him or whatever. There are other ways that you can actually do it. You can actually, like, use Dance of Death and Fallen Fairies, other ways to weaken him. It's possible to beat him without the rusted sword, it just takes, like, way longer. Oh wait, I'm using the coffee cup. I need to be using... There. Eventually normal attacks will hurt him, but... right now... this will... Oh, I see, because I can't use... Okay, yeah, now normal attacks are hurting him, so we're gonna use Final Strike, because he's injured enough to the point where I don't need the rusted sword anymore. do that real quick. There. And we leveled up Forbidden Alchemist. Elite Pass for Shoutcast City, nice. And about it. Okay, we're gonna go to the Avalon Gate and do Nowhere to Run, because I gotta level up. What XP pots do I have? Wait a minute, let's open this first, actually. And I need to get the 3 times Baltane Crystal. And then we'll also have the Forgetful Potion, which I probably won't use until tomorrow, because I can't open another one of these until tomorrow. So I can't get my hands on another 3 times Baltane Crystal until then. So yeah, that'll probably be tomorrow's run. We'll only do one today. That there. And I think we're all set, so let's use that. And let's go. Beltane mission, Nowhere to Run, and Elite. Commence mission, there's the pass. And we'll use this pet buff to get a little bit more XP. Hey, welcome in, Otaku. The Cookie Island is weird. Yeah, it's a little bit of a strange event. I don't think it's changed too much since it first came out, though. Like, the first one was, like, in 2016. I think it might feel kind of weird now because it is kind of old. Like, they didn't really update a lot of the stuff that goes with it. And level 200, nice. So 200 levels went to Forbidden Alchemist, that's great. Let's get the gems and get out of here. Okay, let's grab that. Any other gems out here? There's like one over here. It took me a while to figure out the order I had to defeat those Koopa in for that story quest today, though. Had to look that up on the wiki. Alright, that's good enough. We'll hop out of this mission. And then I'll do another run tomorrow, when I can get another 3 times Beltane Crystal. I'll save that Forgetful Potion until tomorrow, and then we can spend 300 more levels. I mean 200 more levels on Forbidden Alchemist. Let's take a look at spirit weapons. I think I can level up the spear today. Maybe. Yes. Okay, so that's gonna be enough to get her to 91. We have 13 points. So wait, if I take this up by 7, the last one needs a 9. How do I have it for like a spirit weapon like this? Okay, we have like all this maxed out. Let's get that. And then we'll work on this next. And then dual guns and staff. And let's figure out what the veteran dungeon is today. We'll do that run as long as it's not Piaka dungeon. And I also want to run one tech. math dungeon. To the normal daily dungeon too. And if that turns out to be math dungeon, then that'll just be good luck. I'm probably not gonna run the normal daily dungeon unless it's math, or I get an unlimited veteran filmer pass in math.
뭐야 이 편지는? 불쾌해.
Fiat dungeon. Okay. So I'll run that if I can get an unlimited veteran filmer pass to drop from that math dungeon. And then let's buy the Neurite from the Adventure Seal shop.
다음 분.
I could even save that and use that tomorrow if I don't feel like running that today. I think it's good for a full day. Oh, and I gotta switch back to Arsenal Gunner, which I don't mind because I'm level 200 now. All of my levels have gone to Forbidden Alchemist. Not me worry about any leveling up right now. I think I got Forbidden Alchemist up 2 levels today. Like, what level is it now? Like 36 or something? 38. Okay, that's cool. Alright, let's get this run done. Put the keys down here. Min and T, thanks for the raid. Welcome in, I'm just doing my veteran run. Any friend leather drop in here? But Arsenal Gunner is definitely my favorite Arcana for running veteran dungeons now. Oh, there's some fine leather. Okay, that one's the real chest. Like, I used to use Battle Astrologer a lot, but I don't even really use that anymore since, like, Arsenal Gunner came out. And actually, in about 8 more days, I think, Korea is finally going to release information about the 2 new Arcana, the Puppetry one and the Fighter one. I think that's around the date that they're going to put, like, all the skills up on their main page and stuff. So around February 12th or the 13th, I'll probably have a video up covering, like, all that, translating all that, so we can learn about those 2 new Arcana. I'm kind of looking forward to seeing what they do with the Fighter one. Which way do we go? Is there anything... Is this herb room just like a dead end, or does it go anywhere? Yeah, okay. Is there anything down this way? Just want to make sure we're not missing a room over here. No, that's just a chest. Okay, 2 possible ways here. Let's check out... That leads somewhere. Does this lead somewhere? Probably not. This probably just leads to a dead end. Oh no, it does go somewhere. Okay. So 2 possible pathways. Let's go down this way first. Okay, so yeah, this does... We need to get 2 keys from here and then go back. I should probably just use a support puppet more so it'll, like, show me all the map or whatever. But the big reason I don't use support puppets is mostly because it doesn't really occur to me to use them because, like, I'm an old Mabby player, so I'm from the times when, like, support puppets were super rare and kind of expensive, and not a lot of players used them, so when they started giving out, like, a bunch of support puppets for free and stuff, I just never got into the habit of, like, equipping one. And since we're about to get a boost, I'm going to use Meteor pretty soon. Let's use Meteor in this room. Just real quick. Might as well. Perfect. Oh wow, some of these guys lived through it. Hey, there's the boss key. Alright, time for the boss, and this is, oh wait, this is math, not Rappy, so there's gonna be the Hellhounds in this one. So since those 3 are pretty close together, that's pretty convenient. We're gonna get them all with Meteor. And then Time Shift. And 5 more Meteors. Good, we got 3 of them twice. Now we'll get those 2. Those 2. Yeah, since those 2 are staying close together, we'll keep targeting them. Distance. And that one's down. 1 left. And done. 20 minutes and 38 seconds. Okay, an unlimited veteran filmer pass. And some spirit gems. Nice, that means I'll do Field Dungeon too. On veteran mode, might as well, since I have the vet pass for it. So let's just jump right over to there, I guess. How much summon time does that doll bag have left? Okay, yeah, that's more than enough. There's that pass. And let's go ahead and clear this one too. I think it's just gonna be like a golem for the boss here. It would sure be cool to fight the armored bear on a veteran level. Alright, second floor. And it looks like my current Mabinogi playlist is done, so let's actually switch to the 8-bit Mabby music. There. The last playlist I had going are tracks from Mabinogi Mobile. So, I'm looking forward to Mabinogi Mobile. I think, like, from what I've heard, it's gonna come out in, like, late 2026. Like, to the US. So that'll be nice. And as far as story goes, I think they have, like, Gen 2 out there now. I'm not sure if they have any of Gen 3 done yet or not, but a couple months ago, they got, like, Gen 2 in Korea. So I think that's why they're waiting, like, a while to release Mabinogi Mobile to the US, because they probably want to have, like, 2 or 3 generations fully done over there, so they can, like... Because they gotta pace the updates. We'll always be behind Korea a little bit, so they gotta make sure they have enough content to give us once in a while. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to mobile. Like, I know some people kind of have doubts about it, but I haven't heard one thing bad about Mabinogi Mobile so far. You can play it from your desktop, you can play it from, like, your phone or tablet or whatever. And, like, everyone seems to have good things to say about it. I think, like, a couple weeks ago I was watching some Korean guy, like, streaming Mabinogi Mobile. I think he was looking at, like, player houses, which was pretty cool. Some of the furniture in, like, the player houses was actually kind of interesting. So yeah, maybe we can expect that in, like, summer, fall of 2026. This one's Fiat Dungeon. But yeah, this is the normal daily dungeon. I'm doing this for the normal daily dungeon quest because I had like an unlimited Foamer Pass, veteran Foamer Pass. And boss time. Go ahead and use some meteor. 6 of them to be exact. Took down almost 60% of its health with meteor. Alright, let's put that on. Oh, that's cheating using that window. Alright, let's get him. 17 minutes and 37 seconds. Alright, so we did the daily vet dungeon and the daily dungeon on vet mode. Oh, how many AP coupons do I have? Okay, let's go ahead and use up those. And we're gonna switch to Dark Diviner because I'm gonna do a tech mission. I like Arsenal Gunner better for like vet dungeons and stuff like that, and shadow missions. But I like Dark Diviner better for like techs and like commerce and other content. Because Dark Diviner does have slightly better range. So that's why I prefer it for techs. And how much summon time do you have left? 26 minutes? That's enough time. So I'm only gonna do one tech mission. And let's activate Mana Shield. A little healing them before we go in there. And boss time. So we'll use Polar Vortex and Meteor. And done. And then tomorrow we get like 10 Neurite, so we'll be doing a lot of text tomorrow. Spirit gems, crystals, the check, the adventure seals. Let's have a look at my tech stuff. Oh, we have enough crystals to level up Fate Weaver. That's something I want to take up. What are we working on here? Defiance is level 10, that one's maxed out. That one's actually a pretty useful skill. Dampen Shock. I was working on this one. If I could get more Crystals of Challenge, we could take that up. And... Blunting Force. Okay, so I need more Crystals of Achievement. Wait a minute. And... I need one more for that, and I need how much more for this? For this one? 5. Okay, I think I'm gonna use my box to get some of the green crystals so we can level this one up to level 5. Because this one's already level 5, so we'll get this one to the same level, and then we'll take up this one tomorrow. Yeah, that's how I want to do it. Where's the tech reward box? Probably here? Yeah. Alright, let's get some of these crystals of challenge. And then we'll take up Dampen Shock, which just gives you a lot of extra defense. Like, these are passive skills. And then we have more than enough to get XP maxed out. So we need 30 for the next level. These are my tech skills. Yeah, these are like techniques. I've recently been getting into tech stuff. Like, honestly, when tech stuff came out, I pretty much just ignored it up until, well, basically the new Rise update. So now I'm actually working on like leveling up my techs and stuff. But my Arcana, I just have to get Forbidden Alchemist to level 50 for the stats. But right now I'm mostly focusing on Dark Diviner and Arsenal Gunner. I have one more link, the 10th link, to unlock on that. Techniques are pretty old. Arcana are, like, ongoing. Like, Elemental Knight and Harmonic Saint are the oldest. They were released a few years ago, but we keep getting, like, new Arcana every year, pretty much. They're just sort of the more advanced talents or classes of the game. Overall, I think Arcana are like a positive thing for the game. I just think that older dungeons and shadow missions and tech missions need to be scaled to, like, keep up with it. So I, like, made a dungeon video talking about how veteran dungeons kind of feel too easy, so they really shouldn't be veteran dungeons. Like, the vet level should be the normal level for dungeons. And, like, shadow missions need to be more difficult. Because, like, these days, it's just, like, you can get into an Arcana pretty quickly, like, probably within a couple weeks to a month after you start, like, playing the game, like, as a new player. But lately it seems like older dungeons are being kind of neglected, like New Rise unfortunately kind of pushes players into doing basically endgame dungeons like Phantasm, Glenberna, and the new Relith dungeon mostly. So a lot of Korean players aren't too happy about that. So tomorrow we'll get like 10 Neurite, so I'll probably run like 6 or 7 Hex and then like get rid of the rest on Friday. And other than that, how many Smoldering Thread do I have? I have a bit of gold so I can make some crests for my Arcana. Where'd that Smoldering Thread go off to? Which inventory is it in? Oh, it is in here. It's just way down in this corner. Got 11 of those. Now I should get some Frost Flame threads so I can make some Ice Scorched crests. Those are the ones that are expensive. It's not that bad getting Smoldering thread and making Scorching crests, but those Ice Scorched crests, those that costs a lot of gold. Frost Flame thread. Sure, we'll get like 22 of these. Like, they're cheap to buy on the auction house, but it's like 150k to turn one thread into like one Ice Scorched crest. So that's the expensive part. Okay, let's go to the association room. And... oh wait, I need to switch to Arsenal Gunner to make Arsenal Gunner stuff. So... it's also nice that you can switch Arcana, like, anywhere now. Instead of always having to come here, but you still have to come here to make your crests. Okay, so I have 11 out of 60, so I need like 49 more. And let's see how many I can make. Oh, before I do that, let's also sell these Awakened Strength Fragments. I'll just get us 100 extra K gold. There, that's better. And those hunter boots are worth a little bit too. Put this up here. Okay, so I have 1,190,000. It's gonna cost 1,200,000 to make 8 of them. Can I get like 10k somehow, real quick? Let's see, what's a quick way to do that? Anything to sell? Oh right, this check. Yeah, let's do that. So we'll put this in here, and we'll draw 160k out of the 190k that I put in. Because if I take that out, then I should be able to make 9 Ice Scorch crests today. And then we can make the rest tomorrow when I do like a bunch of techs and get more gold. Oh crap, I made Scorching Crests, oops. Well, I guess that's fine that I accidentally did that, because I do technically need more of them. So... Alright, we'll make 8, and then we'll use up the rest of those tomorrow. Yeah, still like 41 to go for the Ice Scorch. Alright, well I think that's good enough for today. At least we made some progress on that Arcana and the event. So we'll continue the Cookie Island event stuff tomorrow, and do techs, veteran runs, that kind of thing.